Have you ever wondered why your steps in the morning feel heavier than before? Why climbing just a few stairs makes your knees tighten immediately? Or why your ankles swell slightly by late afternoon, even on days when you haven't overworked your body? Many people assume these are signs of aging, but in reality, there is a deeper factor quietly declining each day, one that weakens your legs faster than you may realize. If you've ever experienced these symptoms, type 1. If not, type 0. Many adults after 60 focus only on calcium, yet forget that collagen cannot form without 3 small but critical minerals: zinc, manganese, and magnesium. These minerals act as catalysts for the enzymes that build collagen. Without them, your body cannot rebuild the connective fibers in your ligaments, tendons, and the tissues surrounding your joints. Over time, the entire support structure of your legs becomes weaker, even if you feel like nothing has changed. As the ligaments loosen, your joints lose stability, and every step becomes slightly misaligned, so subtle you may not notice it. The symptoms show up most clearly when you stand still. Your calves fatigue quickly, your ankles feel shaky, and your legs seem as if they might give out, even though you have not done anything strenuous. Have you ever stood for more than 10 minutes and felt your legs weaken in an unusual way? In surveys of adults over 65, those lacking trace minerals had a nearly 30% higher risk of ankle swelling by the end of the day compared to those who consumed enough. The right approach is simple. Choose natural, easily absorbed mineral sources, and just as importantly, avoid dehydration. Water is what transports minerals into connective tissue. You don't need high doses. What you need is steady, daily intake at the right amount and the right time. Many people fear cholesterol and eat only egg whites, but the yolk is what contains sulfur, biotin, and vitamin D, 3 nutrients that unlock your body's collagen-building process. Without sulfur, your body cannot form strong amino chains, which means your cartilage thins faster, your joint fluid becomes weaker, and your joints lose smooth movement. The result of this deficiency is the stiffness you feel in your calves the moment you step out of bed. Worn-down cartilage makes every first step heavy and rigid, almost as if your joints are not properly lubricated. Many people also hear a grinding or crackling sound in their knees after a long night of sleep. Do you separate the yolk when eating eggs, or boil your eggs so hard that the yolk becomes dry? In a small study on seniors with morning stiffness, the group that consumed whole eggs experienced significantly better flexibility than the group that ate only egg whites. The difference came from the essential micronutrients inside the yolk, nutrients many people unknowingly throw away. The right approach is to cook eggs gently, just until soft, to preserve sulfur and other heat-sensitive compounds. You don't need to eat a lot, just prepare them correctly, so your body receives the raw material it needs to rebuild cartilage and collagen around your joints. Many older adults also remove the skin, connective tissue, and soft bones from meat, believing they are fatty, tough, or difficult to digest. Yet these parts contain type I collagen, the primary form of collagen in ligaments, joint cartilage, and the supportive tissues around your knees. When your body lacks natural collagen sources, joint repair slows down, cartilage thins, and your joints gradually lose elasticity. The consequences become obvious when you change positions: stiff knees after sitting, a catching sensation in the joint, or a mild ache at the front of the knee when you extend your leg. These are all signs that your connective tissue is weakening. Have you ever stepped down the stairs and felt a slight numbness in your knees, maybe a mild ache, or difficulty fully extending the joint? According to observational data, adults over 60 who completely remove skin and soft tissue from their meals have nearly a 30% higher risk of losing joint elasticity compared to those who eat these parts regularly. The right approach is simple. Choose cuts rich in connective tissue that are cooked until soft, such as slow-cooked or gently braised dishes, so your body can absorb them easily. You don't need large portions. Just a few properly prepared servings each week are enough to replenish the raw materials your joints rely on. Gelatin is a form of collagen naturally broken down during long, low-temperature cooking. It is quickly absorbed by the body, and especially helpful for older adults with weaker digestion or reduced joint fluid. When gelatin is lacking, the connective fibers inside your joints lose their natural viscosity. This increases friction, making your joints more sensitive and more painful even with light movement. The consequences often appear as crackling sounds or a feeling of dryness in the joints when you stand up or sit down. Many people also notice that their knees cannot bend fully, especially after sitting for a long period. Have you ever heard a faint crackling sound in your knees when changing positions? In observations of adults over 65, those who consumed natural gelatin a few times each week experienced smoother joint motion earlier than those who relied only on calcium or vitamin D. The benefit comes from gelatin's ability to provide a soft cushion and help joint fluid maintain its proper thickness. The right step is to choose slow-cooked dishes that form a light jelly, or to add natural gelatin to soups and broths. What matters most is consistency, because connective tissue needs a daily supply of raw materials to repair itself. Many older adults remove fish skin and discard the soft bones, assuming they are fatty or difficult to digest. Yet these parts are rich in collagen, elastin, and minerals, essential for joint elasticity. Elastin allows surrounding tissues to stretch and recoil easily, while collagen from the skin and soft bones helps reduce friction between cartilage surfaces. When these portions are removed, the body loses a valuable source of structural nutrients that keep the joints gliding smoothly. As a result, the joints become more prone to catching. Joint fluid becomes thinner, and the cushioning effect on the knees and ankles weakens. Many people feel noticeably heavier legs toward the end of the day, especially around the ankles. Have you noticed your ankles feeling slightly swollen or heavy as the afternoon approaches? According to observations in adults over 60, those who eat fish along with its skin and soft bones tend to have better joint flexibility and less ankle swelling than those who eat only the flesh. The difference comes from supplying the exact type of collagen the joint structures require. The right approach is to choose fish with soft, edible skin and cook it just enough so the skin stays moist. For soft bones, slow cooking or gentle crushing is enough for your body to absorb both calcium and collagen. Many people know that collagen matters, but forget that the body needs healthy fats, especially omega fats, to transport collagen into connective tissue and reduce inflammation around the joints. Collagen cannot work effectively without a stable fat environment that protects tissues, reduces oxidation, and strengthens joint cell membranes. When omega intake is low, tissue repair slows down, and chronic inflammation makes the joints more likely to swell, warm up, and ache even with light activity. The consequences are easy to feel: heavier legs by the end of the day, especially when the weather changes. The joint membrane becomes irritated, reducing smooth movement and leaving you with the sense that your joints are no longer gliding the way they used to. Have you ever felt your knees or calves become unusually heavy in the evening, even on days when you didn't walk much? In several nutritional surveys of older adults, the group that combined natural collagen with omega fats improved joint flexibility nearly twice as fast as the group that took collagen alone. The right approach is simple. Pair collagen-rich foods with healthy fats such as olive oil or nuts. This combination helps your joints rebuild more effectively and reduces inflammatory irritation. Many people assume that eating meat is enough, but the most important part for your joints actually lies in slow-cooked bone broth. When bones are simmered for hours, compounds like glycine, proline, and collagen are released, forming gelatin that nourishes your cartilage. This gelatin becomes the raw material your body uses to rebuild the cushion between two cartilage surfaces. When you skip these foods or cook them too quickly, the joint lining lacks what it needs to be restored. The consequences become clear when you walk downstairs. Your knees may feel stretched, slightly painful in the front, or unable to absorb impact smoothly. Over time, thinner joint fluid makes the cartilage surfaces lose their gliding motion, causing discomfort when you extend your leg or change direction suddenly. Have you ever felt mild knee pain with each step down the stairs, even though you weren't doing anything strenuous? Among adults aged 60 to 75, those who drank bone broth 3 times a week showed noticeably smoother joint movement and reduced crackling sounds within a few weeks. The benefit comes from gelatin's ability to increase the viscosity of joint fluid. The right method is to simmer bones for at least 6 to 12 hours so the nutrients can fully release. Keep the seasoning light and avoid heavy fried fats to support better absorption. Tendons and cartilage contain some of the highest levels of type I collagen found in nature. This is the same type of collagen that forms the structure of your ligaments, the tissues around your knees, and the connective fibers near your ankles. Yet many older adults avoid these parts because they think they are tough or hard to digest. When you remove them from your diet, your body loses a direct source of the collagen needed to rebuild protective cushioning. The result is familiar. When you stand up after sitting, your knees produce a light crackling sound or feel slightly stretched. These are signs that your connective tissue has thinned and lost elasticity. Have you ever stood up after sitting for a while and heard your joints click softly during the first few seconds? In follow-up reports on adults over 65, those who consumed softened tendon and cartilage 2 to 3 times a week showed significantly better joint elasticity than those who ate only lean meat. Tendon and cartilage provide native collagen, the exact form your body uses to repair damaged areas. The right approach is to slow cook these parts until tender, making them easy to chew and absorb. Combine them with vegetables to support digestion. Once you pass 60, your body enters a stage of natural decline in connective tissue, a process more silent than most people realize. One of the biggest changes is that collagen production drops to nearly 1/2 of what it was in midlife. As a result, your joints, ligaments, tendons, and the cushioning tissues around them lose thickness, elasticity, and the ability to recover after a full day of movement. Collagen is the structural material that allows cartilage surfaces to glide smoothly, keeps joint fluid at the right viscosity, and maintains the flexibility of your ligaments, so every step remains controlled. When this material diminishes, the entire lower body system feels the impact directly. As we age, the circulation in our legs changes. The tiny blood vessels around the knees and ankles become more sensitive to shifts in pressure and temperature. When the body lacks collagen and loses elasticity, these vessels respond more slowly, allowing small amounts of fluid to build up. This is why many older adults feel heaviness in their legs by late afternoon, especially after standing or walking for long periods. It isn't just one issue, it's the combined effect of reduced cartilage elasticity, weaker connective tissue, thinner joint fluid, and slower blood flow. Another factor is the sensory nervous system. The small nerves around the ankles and feet begin to react more slowly, reducing your ability to balance. The reason is simple. Collagen is not just in the joints, it also surrounds and protects the nerves. When collagen is lacking, nerve signals traveling from your feet to your brain become weaker, making each step feel less steady than before. Do you ever feel your steps become slower, heavier, or slightly shaky when you stand for too long? These sensations do not mean you suddenly became weak. They are the result of connective tissue gradually losing strength over many years. Your body is still trying to repair itself every day, but the natural recovery rate no longer keeps up with the rate of wear and tear. And this is exactly the stage when giving your body the right nutrients can dramatically speed up the rebuilding of connective tissue. Many observational studies in adults ages 60 to 80 show that when the body receives daily support for collagen formation, joint cartilage becomes thicker, joint fluid becomes more viscous, and leg swelling decreases week by week. These improvements do not come from medication, they come from giving the body exactly what it has been missing for years. In many people, the earliest changes appear in the morning. They often describe knee stiffness the moment they wake up, with those first steps on the floor feeling slow and heavy. This happens because the body has spent hours without movement. Joint fluid has not been redistributed, and connective tissue has not been nourished continuously. But when they begin supplying the proper collagen-building nutrients from natural foods, this morning stiffness often improves faster than expected. A clear example comes from a group of adults aged 65 to 72 who were followed for 8 weeks. When they added natural collagen sources to their diet, morning stiffness decreased week by week. By week 3, many reported that their slow morning steps improved by about 1/3. By week 6, they walked faster, and the heaviness in their knees when going downstairs was noticeably reduced. The key point is that they did not change their exercise routine, they simply added the right foods to restore their joint cushioning. Another case involves ankle swelling. Many adults after 60 notice mild ankle puffiness at the end of the day, especially after walking. When connective tissue weakens, fluid tends to accumulate in the lowest parts of the body. However, in the group that consumed natural collagen from skin, soft bones, or gelatin daily, ankle swelling decreased significantly within a few weeks. They not only reduced swelling, they also felt more stable, with fewer slips or balance issues on uneven surfaces. For those who feel pain when walking downstairs, the improvements came even faster. As joint cartilage becomes nourished, friction between the surfaces decreases. People who used to rely on the handrail reported lighter, easier knee movement after about 4 weeks of proper collagen support. Even the small crackling sounds began to fade. These examples prove that your legs do not weaken because of age in an irreversible way. They weaken because they lack raw materials. And when you return those materials to your body, the connective tissue begins to recover so quickly that many people are genuinely surprised by the change. One of the most important facts many people overlook is that the body absorbs natural collagen far better than synthetic collagen. When collagen comes from real food, it arrives with supportive molecules such as elastin, glycine, proline, minerals, and the enzymes that activate the rebuilding of tissue. This is why so many studies show that collagen-rich foods produce faster improvements than isolated supplements alone. As connective tissue begins to regenerate, you feel the difference in every familiar symptom. Less calf tightness when you wake up, fewer crackling sounds after sitting for a long time, reduced ankle swelling by late afternoon, and most noticeably, lighter knees when walking downstairs. These changes signal that your joint fluid has thickened, your cushioning tissues have softened, and your ligaments have regained elasticity. To accelerate this process, you can follow a simple 7-day framework. On day 1, include an easy-to-digest natural collagen source, such as long-simmered bone broth. In the following days, add soft fish skin, soft bones, or natural gelatin. Each day requires only a small amount, but it must be consistent. When you maintain this pattern for 7 days, your connective tissue begins to respond. Many people report stronger, steadier legs between day 5 and day 7. During this first week, pay close attention to 3 key moments. The first is right after you wake up. Notice whether your first step still feels tight or has become lighter. The second is when you climb stairs. Observe whether your thighs and knees still fatigue the way they used to. The third is at the end of the day, when you stand still for 10 to 15 minutes. This is when connective tissue tires the fastest. If you feel less fatigue or less shakiness, that is a clear sign of recovery. When your body receives the right materials consistently, your legs do not just become less painful and less swollen, they become more stable. This is not a process based on luck. It is a natural biological response that every human body is capable of. No matter your age, your legs have far more potential to recover than you think. The human body never stops regenerating. It simply needs the raw materials it has been missing for years. And once you supply those materials, the connective fibers, the cartilage cushions, and the joint linings begin to change quietly inside you. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but steadily. Day after day, your legs feel lighter, more stable, and more secure beneath you. What matters most is not where you start, but that you start at any level, no matter how small. You deserve to feel lightness in your steps when you get out of bed. You deserve to climb stairs without holding onto the rail. And you deserve to walk confidently, no matter how many years you have lived. This is not out of reach. It begins with the small habits you choose each day. If today you learned something that can make your legs stronger, leave the number 1. If you feel you need more time to notice a change, leave the number 0. Each comment is more than just a number. It's a way for you to truly listen to your own body. And if you want to build a community where older adults learn how to care for their legs, joints, and overall health in a scientific and practical way, follow the Seniorspocari channel. Each week, you'll receive simple guidance that creates meaningful improvements, steps designed for the body and the rhythm of life after 60. I wish you steady, light, and energized steps every single day. This is not medical advice. If you have specific health concerns, consult your doctor for proper guidance. But always remember this: your legs still have the ability to recover, and that journey begins today.